Alrighty guys, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. In today's episode, we are going to be doing an updated world tour of everything that we have done so far. It's been roughly a year since we started. So we're going to start off with the house, then we'll go through the estate grounds, and then we'll give a grand tour of Havenwood eventually in this episode. Unfortunately, the flashback mod hasn't updated yet, so that's why we aren't able to build. Pretty much the same excuse that I did inside of the first estate tour. But anywho, this is where I live. This is the mansion that we've been building up over the series. We can actually tour the entirety of the first and second story. The only portion of this house that is not finished is the attic currently. As you can see, we have it decorated for Christmas, since Christmas is coming up soon. But without any further ado, let's get started on the tour. Boom. Okay. As you can see, as we enter the house, we have a lovely vestibule area that then leads straight on into the entrance hall. Also decorated for Christmas. It does not look like this the majority of the time. This is just kind of a temporary thing. Grand staircase, beautiful, that flanks at the top. Double sort of balcony up at the top. A lovely moose head, a very characteristic feature of most Minecraft bases. And now we can actually tour the blue drawing room too. The blue drawing room also acts as our music room inside of this room. It has a grand pipe organ with a bunch of various blocks in order to build it. I might do a tutorial on this eventually one day, we'll see. It's really not that complicated, it's just a lot of moving bits and pieces. But yeah, this is also where I keep the record player and stuff like that. I really like this room. Oh, and some allays that we need to build a sanctuary for eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 4 here. There should be 4 inside of each of the drawing rooms, hopefully. And then across the hall from that is the green drawing room, which we have our Christmas tree in. It used to hold the billiard table. Oh, hello, Pumpkin. You can go and join us. It used to hold the billiard table. Whoa. Lag spike. Anyway, I moved the billiard table into the other room for now. I don't know if we're going to be putting it back in here after Christmas. We'll just kind of have to see what I decide to do. Do not jump in the fireplace. Oh my gosh. Anywho, this is one of my favorite rooms. This is sort of the primary room that we use. It also has 4 allays in it, just holding them for right now to give it a bit of life. But I love this room. It's a great room. I love the color green, obviously. Anywho, following through the back of the entrance hall, you come across the grand hallway. It's really not that grand, it's a hallway. First door, it used to be the study, but it is now our new billiard room. It hasn't really been decorated properly yet, it's just holding onto the table. I don't know what we'll use it for eventually, but for right now it is doing as it should. Crazy dog. Right through here we have doors that lead out into the side porches, just so that way we can get out here super fast and, you know, let some zombies in and kill us a bunch of times, which is awesome. Carrying on with the tour, we have the small library. This was always the small library, but it went through a reshuffle and change, and now it's a nice red room to match, and we moved our enchantment table out here, which I really like. I think it just feels a lot better with them matching now. We also have these cool little plant stand designs. Then we have the library adjoining this room. I absolutely adore this room. I feel like it's held up really well. Whoa. I feel like my computer is about to die. That's awesome. I feel like it's holding up really well, considering how old it is for the house. It is, I think, yeah, it was the first reception room. It was the entrance hall, then this room that was built. So it's gotten old up there. This is where the enchantment table used to be. As you can see, with the age of copper, we sort of moved in some more copper elements since there's copper furniture inside of this room. Then carrying on through the tour, we'll go ahead and cut through the courtyard. It's a little bit icy at this time of year, but that's alright. As you can see, this is where I keep my frogs. We have some orange frogs and some green frogs, which are really awesome. They keep on trying to escape, but they can't, bless their heart. And then inside the middle, we have a nice big old pond, a stone pond for them to swim around in, flanked by 2 nice looking oak trees. Normally it looks a little bit better. I don't have my bushy leaves on because it's winter time. But yeah, this courtyard goes all the way up through the mansion's interior with really nice views. If you just kind of want to look at the house, which I feel like is kind of a neat little aspect. All right, and then going on the other side, we come into our conservatory area with a lovely fish tank with real fish. I feel like I'm missing a couple fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there only 5 fish in that? I thought there was a lot more. Anywho, weird. This room used to be... I think it was just a small sitting room. There was a... Is there a fire? I don't know. I thought there was a fireplace here at some point. I'm not honestly sure if there was. I can't really remember. But anywho. Then we enter the dining room, which nothing has really changed about it, I don't think, since it was built. Is that a yellow candle or just a tallow candle? Oh, okay, it's just a regular candle. Okay. Anyway, we have lovely plates here set out. The table is always ready to be used. Pumpkin, get off the table. Good God. That's fine. Anywho. Yeah, I think I've used this room not at all since it was built. It's more of a pretty room. Anywho, then we go into one of the most used rooms inside of the house, which is my kitchen. Let's hope Pumpkin doesn't die in this episode, dude. This is one of my favorite rooms inside the house. It is right next to the blue drawing room. And yeah, it's used pretty much every single day. It's where I keep all of my processed food and my ingredients. When I say processed food, I don't mean like it came from a factory. I mean that it's like it's ready to be eaten, I guess. Then we have a bunch of ingredients and stuff over here. A little dinette set, as well as more doors leading out onto the side porch. So it shares a lot of similar characteristics. Oh, thank you. A lot of similar characteristics to the billiard room across the hall. There we go. Okay. And I apologize if I sound a little nasally. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if I have a cold or if I'm sick or what's going on, but it's really weird. This is my storage room. Really nice storage, very pretty. It was designed before the age of copper, so there's a lot of things that really don't work out for Phil and Bill here. Speaking of which, this is Phil and Bill. Oh my gosh, game. This is Phil and Bill, my lovely copper golems, who are quite terrible at their job, if I'm being honest. But you know what? I'd say they tried their hardest, but I really don't think that they do. We got our ender chest and trash can right here. And then we enter the crafting room of the mansion. These are little cupboards where I like to keep the charcoal that Bill is trying to put away. And diamonds and all my sort of goodies and stuff in there. This is Mr. Jenkins. He sort of patrols this area and makes sure that everything is well taken care of for us. He's sort of like the butler in the house. There is another person here who is Harold. He's in the entrance hall, sort of our head of security. Anywho, we have a nice little seating area in here, a raised crafting table, a little desk, and 2 chairs to plan out the day, as well as some treasures just lining the room. I'm really pleased with this room. It's not technically finished. These doors are going to go out onto the back porch, which will span the entire back facade of the mansion and be overlooking the formal gardens and stuff. And it'll also become a balcony for the room above it, which is my master bedroom and suite, I suppose. It is more of a proper suite than anything else. And then our final room is our brewing room. This room does get used actually quite a bit for all the potions and stuff that I have to brew for the villagers, or when we raided the Woodland Mansion, I brewed a couple ones. I didn't actually end up bringing those because Mystic Cucumbers brought over some potions from his area. But I think that completes the tour on the ground floor. Woo-hoo. And under 10 minutes. Man, that's pretty good. And now we need to start on the second story. Anywho, so following up the staircase, past the landing, we enter the upper balcony of the entrance hall. Seeing if I can't find Harold. I don't know, he's normally around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. This is Harold. Just chilling. He's a classic. Anywho, this is the yellow drawing room. It's being used as my new study. We have lovely sort of, cases? Yeah, cases. I was going to say canisters, but I'm like, that's not right. We have cases for different, banners and stuff like that. Up here we have my compasses to take me to all of our areas, such as Myers Keep, Portal Home, that's for the Nether, Mystic's Manor, and the Tregorian Estate, where we are right now. Really pleased with this room. This room used to be my actual bedroom, hence why it still has balcony doors that lead out onto a balcony. It's been more converted into just a roof, but I still like having the doors here. I think it's pretty neat. But anywho, let's go ahead and keep on moving through the house. We'll go ahead and show off the red drawing room next, so we'll just head on over there. Could take the stairs just going up a little bit like a wave, but it is what it is. Anywho, this is the red drawing room. This is sort of the council room for it, sort of where like a war meeting or something would happen. I tend to always put in a war meeting for a room inside of a big house like this, mostly because it'll fill in a room and stuff, but I'm really pleased with it. It can also be used as like a smaller secondary dining room, and we have a nice little mirror effect above the fireplace, which I'm still really pleased with, since there aren't any real mirrors in Minecraft, but I think it sells home that idea of it. As well as we have a antelope, I believe it is, on the fireplace. Anywho, I think this time we'll start off on the right side of the house. And as you can see, we have a gorgeous view of the courtyard and stuff. This staircase leads up to the attic, or at least it will eventually. Like I said, the attic is unfinished, and I don't want mobs just pouring into the house. This dog. Anywho, this is the Rose bedroom, I believe. It is the only red bedroom inside of the entire mansion. Has a nice view of the sawmill, I believe. Yep, right there. As well as the outdoors, complementary armor, beds, nightstands, fireplace, which is not lit to prevent lagging too bad. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how nice this room is. It's a smaller room, but I think it still feels nice and grand in its own right. And then following down the corridor, we have the orchid room, I want to say. Is that right? I don't know. This room incorporates a lot of oxidized copper. These copper chairs used to actually be inside of the small library back when it was yellow and blue. I'm really pleased with this room. I really like the combination of blue and gold together. I think it's a really timeless combo. This is one of the 4 poster beds we have inside of the mansion. This bed design was originally for the red bedroom, or the rose room, but it just didn't fit in there, and so it was put in here. So this could be a nice little grander bedroom. This fireplace is currently lit, so we're just gonna put it out because we don't need that. Dude, we don't need that fireplace on. This room is actually being stayed in by my brother currently, so he has his armor here and stuff, and we still have his complementary armor and stuff, as well as gorgeous views of the sawmill and the wilderness and what will eventually be the formal gardens below. So I'm really pleased with this room, and it has another mirror above the bed just to make it look a little bit fancier. Next, let's go ahead and go through this way, and we'll do all of our sort of state bedrooms first, and then I'll show you guys my bedroom. This is the yellow bedroom. It's fairly similar to the red one, but it's in yellow. The bed might look identical, but it is slightly different. Similar things, though. All of the bedrooms have starter armor and enough items to get you back on your feet if you were to die here. A little seating area, nice banners, the classic. I love this room. I really like yellow as a color. As I've gotten older, it's grown on me. What can I say? Then through here we have the pink bedroom. This is Mystic's room whenever he comes over to visit. It's a really nice room, very custom bed, nice custom banners on there, nice painting. I think that the red on her dress really reflects well inside of the room. And yeah, this room also has beautiful views of the farming area and the barn below. And then it'll also have nice views of the formal gardens below. These are sort of my bigger diplomatic bedrooms, I suppose. So yeah, very pleased with how they turned out. And then finally, my master suite takes up the entire back of the entire mansion. This is my sort of closet slash wardrobe room. Oh, that's open. Skeletons in my closet. This is my armor that I use for when I'm battling and stuff. This armor is just decorative, just because I like how it looks. But yeah, we have plenty of room in here for lots of armor, and enough to hide in here if the mansion ever got raided. This is my main master bedroom. As you can see, there usually is a cake here. I don't know if we have a cake to put there. We don't. Cool. Anywho, so yeah, all of this furniture and stuff was moved from the yellow drawing room to this room once this portion of the mansion was completed. As you can see, we have two really nice little seating areas. This room pretty much classifies as a drawing room in its own aspect, but it is my bedroom. I really like this room. I always like to have a lot of room inside of the bedrooms in Minecraft in case if it's raining or something, or just big rooms in general. If it's raining and stuff, I don't want to be cooped up inside of a little house. I want to go and find something to do, you know, whether that's decorating or, I don't know, doing something. This is a small little seating room just off of the bedroom. As you can see, these yellow curtains were inside of my old bedroom, but I switched them for nice green and gold ones instead. So yeah, this is just a little side room, little bookcase. It could be a small library in its own right, but yeah, pretty pleased with it too. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we have in the attic for right now, just so you can get a general idea of how that's looking. Got my happy guests out front. I'm going to go ahead and sit Pumpkin down right here so he doesn't die. Happier. This is always a little bit dangerous. The creepers tend to blend in a lot better than what they used to. Yeah, this is what we have for the attic so far. It's mostly just a layout, a rough general idea of what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot more bedrooms and storage and stuff like that. But it does have very, very nice views of the surrounding landscape. Like out here, you can see the bridge in all its glory and stuff. And surprisingly, I think it's a lot bigger than what it actually looks like. Like, this is us inside of the main tower inside of the front, and it just, I don't know. This is probably going to be a bedroom or something. I'm not sure just yet. We will have rooftop access from the towers, all three of them. And yeah, as you can see, we have plenty of space up here to maybe even build like a little docking area for the happy guests. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. And now I think we're going to go and give a tour of our farm next. So I will see you guys over there. So now it is time for us to give a grand tour of the estate grounds. Hopefully I don't forget the sawmill. It's a little bit out of the way, so if I do, I do. First stop for us is going to be our newly built stable courtyard. This is where I hold all of the horses. I don't want to say like I run experiments on them because that always sounds bad. But this building is primarily used for horses and storage and whatnot. This little staircase up here leads to a little loft area that's not necessarily finished yet. I still need to finish doing a little bit more cleaning in here. Up here actually leads to a nice little tower overlooking the courtyard and the mansion. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just a lovely view? And yeah, the setting sun always looks directly at the house, which I always love. And we can also use that tower for maintenance on the roof if we ever have to like fix something or I decide to change something on it, which is pretty cool. Anywho, but currently we are inside of the main stable area where we have lots and lots of bays. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have at least 11 stalls over here, which is huge. Some nice golden lights and stuff inside of here. Out here we have a sort of field area for the horsies to actually interact with each other so they aren't cooped up all day. Over here is where I planned, or this is where I did a lot of the breeding of them. So it's in its own sort of self-contained area. And yeah, we might eventually switch this over to be more stables, but I'm just not so sure yet. But yeah, really, really pleased with how the stable courtyard turned out. And I think it complements the house quite a bit. But anywho, next on the tour is going to be the entire farming complex. This area was built, I want to say episode 8 is when the barn and the farm really took shape. Those are my chickens, my chicken coop. It's pretty cute. It produces way too many eggs and now I'm struggling. Beetroot field, carrot field, recently harvested. Potato field, also recently harvested. Wheat field, same thing. Pumpkin patch, I think eventually, I've been talking about doing this forever, I'm going to get rid of the pumpkin patch and just make this all one big wheat field. Wheat is kind of the one thing I have been struggling with. A brand new pumpkin patch, a melon patch over there. melon field, I don't know. We have my cows, which, oh my gosh, I need to kill them. They are a little bit crammed in there. My piggy wigs, and then some sweet berries. That is, oh, and this is my silo, which actually does work. It has plenty of storage. I haven't used it yet just because I haven't really needed to use it for all of its storage capabilities. But if we ever need to, we have it, and it's mostly a decorative structure anyway. Over here is our big, beautiful barn. It is the main area. It was honestly, I always like to build like a base of operations for different areas, so that way I have like all my storage and stuff in here. I have my automatic composters right over here. Lots and lots of storage for different... What? There's 2 pumpkins, that's weird. For different crops and stuff like that. Up in its loft, we have lots of hay bales and pumpkins and melons. Just Jay chillin'. We have lots and lots and lots and lots of eggs, as I've said. I think I need to build an automated chicken farm using all those eggs, just funneling them in there, because it's like, it's crazy. Over here, we have my bamboo field, which I harvest once in a blue moon. Then over here, we have our sheep, our cactuses, and finally our sugarcane. And then that is the end of the farm, with room to expand if we ever need to. That post over there is actually our mine shaft that we use everything. I'm not going to show that off just yet because I don't really see a need for it. It's more or less where I just collect all the deep slate for the world. So it is a huge deep slate mine, but it's also where I get all my diamonds. I like to tell myself that the mansion was built on top of a diamond mine, which is technically true. The amount of diamonds that we have is decent. I'm not going to say it's the most... Oh, I thought I lost my shovel. I'm not going to say it's the most or anything, but we do... Well, I think we're pretty well off inside of this world. And now we need to head on over to the sawmill to give a nice short little tour of it, because it's been a while since it's been featured inside of a video. I don't know, it's been a while since a lot of the stuff has been featured. It's not that it's like, I don't know, when I build something we don't really return to it a whole lot of the time, which is kind of a shame, but I think it's just kind of how we've structured things, with it being a lot of time-lapse building and stuff. I don't really get to live here. Oh well, that's alright. I get to use them off camera all the time. Yeah, when I mean the sawmill hasn't been visited in a while, I mean I get to use it all the time, but rarely do you guys get to see it, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to start streaming those kinds of things, where we can just sort of chill and chat, and just authentically... I apologize if that eating thing is too loud. I'm looking over at my OBS, and it looks like it might be. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. We're going to turn that down to 60%. There we go. We also need to build a proper pathway to get over here. Bless its heart. I think I'm going to do like a tunnel through the mountain or something, but I don't know. I'm just not sure just yet. This is one of our tree fields. It was mangrove trees for the rose room and the red drawing room. I absolutely hate mangrove wood. I love its nice pretty red color, but in terms of harvesting it, it sucks. Thank you, Mojin. This is the actual sawmill building that I built. It's sort of a skeleton building. It's very open air to prevent the wood from rotting, or I don't know, something like that. We have some nice wood stored here. We have a lot of the main variants that we make or produce. We got my copper golems here. They are not named just because they are more of our service ones. They aren't like Bill or Phil. Yeah, forgot their names. Ender chest, lots of things like that. Storage up inside of its loft. It has a bed up here as well. And like I said, it's a really nice area to just chill and chop down some trees and stuff. And then of course we have our spruce wood field, our birchwood field, which was used recently for our DMV, our oak field, our dark oak field, and our pale oak field. We will eventually be adding in more for like jungle wood and stuff like that. It's just that I'm not using jungle wood currently, so that's sort of what this field is designed for, is to adapt to whatever tree we need. So it's a very, very useful sawmill and whatnot. But now, if I can climb up this, mountain, we will start heading over to the village of Havenwood to give you guys the final portion of the tour, I think. So I will see you guys over there. The good thing for us is honestly, that everything is so kind of close together. And I don't know. I always like watching people walk around in the world. I feel like it really grounds it and makes it easier as an audience member to sort of know where everything is in relation to each other, you know? I feel like a lot of the times for Minecrafters, when you're watching them, you really don't know where anything is anymore because it's so hard to tell where they are inside of their world that I don't know. I like to always bring you guys along with me. And I know that we have a lot of new viewers and eyes here compared to when we first made it, our first tour. So yeah, anywho, I digress. This is the little village wall of Havenwood. I say little, it is pretty grand. Inside of lore, right? Lore time. If this were a real wall, those crenellations up there would have holes, no blind spots. We good. Anywho, this is our sort of gate design. As you can see, they sort of jet down to go in between there. We'll go ahead and start off with the wall on our tour, seeing how it is one of the primary defensible positions. We have 2 security guards up here on the wall. As you can see, it protects the entire peninsula side of Havenwood from the rest of it. I think eventually we're going to be putting like farmers and fields out here and stuff, maybe a little bit more trees and stuff, and that would be really fun. What a jump! Ugh. And as you can see, this is our beautiful city hall that we have built inside of the last episode, I believe. If you didn't catch that one, I would probably go back and watch it. Well, finish this episode first. Yeah. But anywho, this is one of my favorite buildings inside of Havenwood. I feel like it feels incredibly real and proper and big and grand. I just think it's kind of a cool building. Even if it wasn't a city hall, if this was like a starter base or something, it'd be sick. Or even end goal base, whatever floats your boat. As you can see, I have a lot of these blueprints sitting here. This is going to be Walls Club Tavern eventually. But like I said, Flashback hadn't updated. That's what we were going to be doing in today's episode, but oh well. I also went ahead and finished up all of the houses and the businesses over here. They are all marked out. This is going to be our church event. Oh, I thought that sheep was something horrible. This is going to be our church and stuff. This is our blacksmith, which, if you've been watching for at least the last couple of episodes, I have finished the interior. Or at least it now has a floor. Don't look at the ceiling of the second story. Ignore that completely, please. Anywho, let's go ahead and give a short tour of the City Hall. As you can see, enter through here, hello, into the sort of vestibule. You have a choice to either go upstairs or enter the DMV/public offices area. As you can see, I put in not enough seating to make sure that people will have to wait for hours just to get a document filled out. Classic. And then on the second story, oh, I'm being followed by the security guard, I'm scared. You enter our sort of courtroom with 2 private rooms to sort of talk to the defendant or the accused or whatever of what's going on. That's actually a really pretty view of the wall from right there. It's nice. Pumpkin, you okay? Up here is the unfinished attic. I'm gonna make more offices and stuff up here. But of the scaffolding, we actually have the bell tower of City Hall, giving beautiful views of the entirety of the village of Havenwood. You can pretty much see the entire village from up here, which I think is pretty neat. Very pleased with how this build has turned out. I think it's a lot of fun to always build a real-life building like this inside of Minecraft, when it really has no purpose, but it is a very beautiful building. Nonetheless. But yeah, okay. Let's carry on with the tour. This is a sort of guest stables that I have my horse and mule tied up at. It's going to be used for the tavern mostly and whatnot. The blacksmith, like you saw before, doesn't have anyone in it yet. A lot of the villagers haven't moved into their builds just yet. I think I'm going to do that on stream one of these days and just bite the bullet and start it because it's going to be a royal pain. All of the iron golems in this half of Havenwood are actually naturally spawning. from the villagers. They felt threatened enough to spawn them in. You're welcome. Anywho, we'll go ahead and start at the edge of the town and then work our way towards the other edge. This is St. Hawthorne's Hospital. This was the first building built inside of the entire village, so that way we could get our villager population up. As you can see, you enter through the front door, and you have a nice little seating area, and then you have a medical ward here, a receptionist area, which with no receptionist, horrible for a hospital. This is sort of the doctor's office where I was residing, and this is my experimentation room for the zombie virus to be cured and stuff, so fun times there for them. Heading upstairs, we have another little waiting room out here, as well as empty wards for now. When I removed the villagers from the hospital, I had to destroy all their beds. They're just in here. I need to put them back out, and then we'll have a couple more wings back to the hospital. Up here we have a big attic and storage room, which is entirely empty except for 47 potatoes, which is awesome. This just goes up to the roof access, which I can go ahead and show you guys. This is a... ooh, didn't like that. This is a nice view of the entire village. The courthouse slash city hall is inside of the village, but this building here is sort of on the outskirts, to the point that you can actually see more of every... I have never noticed that hole right there before. Has that always been there? Oh well. You can kind of see the entirety of the village. So let's go ahead and... Dude, are you trying to die in this episode? Please don't die when I'm live, in a sense. Or in real time. That would suck. Anywho, we're going to go ahead and work our way down and see what we got here. Our building on our left was the second building ever built inside of the village. It is the cozy cottage that I sort of used as my home away from home, where sort of the rest of the village came out of. The villagers, one has died on this staircase. He just kept running up and down, running up and down. Bless his heart. As you can see, we have a couple more villagers up here, which need to find new homes. Another thing I've done, if it's a private residence, it has dark oak doors and trapdoors above it. If it's a public one, it'll have the oak trapdoors and oak doors, so that's more see-through. I thought that would be a nice way of distinguishing it. This is another house that we need to get people back into. The villagers all sort of just go to one place and then chill there until they complain about not having enough room. So yeah, we just need to finish putting everybody inside of their places. A lot of these lampposts are just temporarily placed down for now. They will be changed out eventually for nicer ones, I think, or just put in with more structure. This is just another house that's a little bit empty. I went ahead and just gave them a wood-burning furnace, kind of like that, with a nice smokestack on it for the chimney, which is completely oversized for it. But, you know, that's okay. This is our butcher shop. Also not finished. We just need to put in some more tables and chairs and make them butchers. But they have a nice little upstairs area, but I'm going to have to take away their staircase. Because inside of our bakery, they kept going up on the second story. Look at him. He's the one who kept escaping, and he is so depressed now because he can't escape. You did it to yourself. This is for your own good. Oh, he's gonna kick my butt. Anywho, this is our library building. This, I think, was built in the Village of Havenwood episode. As you can see, this one does have an interior, but the villagers were complaining the entire time, so I opened up the doors, and now they're... Excuse me. This is pretty much what they do. So, they're all trying to become librarians, and their stuff is directly below them, but for some reason, in their villager minds, they cannot fathom the idea that they have to go down the stairs and then over to get to their stuff. I think it's something about them trying to get up as high as possible in their code, because even whenever, say I break the block below this guy, he'll run back up the stairs and then start staring at it again, or just start going inside of an endless loop until he dies, unfortunately. So I've just sort of... There's another one right there. I've just sort of left him alone with it, because it's like, just too much. But yeah, this is where the entire population of Havenwood decided to resign. So we're probably going to have to destroy the spiral staircase, or put a baby gate on it to keep them from all going up there and stuff. This is Carol's Bakery. This is one of the newly remodeled buildings. They used to have a staircase there. I missed a block right there. But it was the same old story, same old song and dance. They just kept going up there, and someone's going to die on the staircase too. They just kept going up here and looking right down here, because that's where they were originally. So they had to lose their staircase privileges, plus their heart. But other than that, I really do enjoy this building. This whole style of building is sort of a... There's a cat! Oh my gosh! Is my Gothic Tudor style, which I have a tutorial on if you want to build something inside of this style and the techniques behind it. You can find that in my tips and tricks series. Over here we have the stonemason building. Also technically unfinished, but it does have villagers inside of it. It has one villager inside of it, apparently. They're going to sort of have like different booths depending on whether they're a stonemason or whatever the other two are, or whatever. This is the... let me give you a good view of this. This is the cartography clock tower. This is one of the most imposing buildings inside of Havenwood, as well as one of the coolest, I think, visually. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It has a little room for here that we're probably going to turn into a villager house. Again, I had to take away the staircase because they kept jumping up here and then just free falling. And I'm like, wait, what's the big idea? You know what I mean? And then we have another room for another villager house, another one. Until finally, you enter the main belfry of the clock tower, as well as the clock mechanism above us. I thought it was really important to leave this whole area open, just to make it feel a little bit cooler looking. It has a little balcony for maintenance to go all the way around it, as well as truly an amazing view of the village around it. And let's head in here. Eventually, I think I'd like to make it, this is where all the cartographers will actually be. Sort of just like free roaming up in the very top of the clock tower. Just because I think it's cool to give me a reason to go up there, instead of the cartographers all just being down here chilling. Okay, so that is the entire village of Havenwood then. Now we just have one more spot left to visit, and that is going to be the iron factory, just west of here. And hold on. South, north, east, west. I was right. I know my directions. Wait. Sun sets in the east. Where am I? You know what? Directions don't matter. It's right over here. So that's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna need to set down Pumpkin just before we head over here, so that way they don't fling themselves into the iron grinder, which would suck. Anywho, one of the projects I'm most excited to be working on soon is going to be a sort of automated factory that'll automate the pumpkins, the melons, all of that kind of stuff, as well as like an XP farm. It's getting a little bit harder to make these videos because my tools keep, you know, breaking with them, or not breaking, but they're getting worn down, so I have to like take more and more time to repair them and stuff. I know I need to switch to netherite. I just really prefer the look of diamond. It always feels a little bit more traditional to me. That's the village that I kidnapped everyone from, so it's now empty. And this is our iron factory, as well as cobblestone farm. It used to be by the house, but we moved it out here during the stable episode. Pumpkin, come here. Pumpkin. Okay, you need to sit outside because I don't want you getting hurt in here. This is quite possibly the most dangerous building inside of the entire village. But yeah, this is our iron factory, but it's really an iron farm. It works pretty good. It works. Ignore that it's our security. Kind of dark. I also fitted this building with a cobblestone smelter. Cobblestone smelter. I don't know why that sounded so weird. It works like a charm. There's a zombie pigman somewhere. How odd. I haven't really been over here enough to get the iron farm producing a lot of iron. It usually produces like a stack when I grind it. So it is what it is. It also has access panels here. This is not my design for the iron farm. The shell of it is with the glass dome and stuff, but the actual internal components are from a tutorial from that video. So if you want to see how it was made, be sure to head back to the video where it was built. But anywho, I think we've gone ahead and touched on everything besides Myers Keep, because I'm not heading over there. I love that place, but I don't really want to head over to our mending area. I apologize if I sound nasally. Oh my gosh, it keeps on like flaring up. I don't know why. But anywho, guys, I think we've just ran out of it. Hold on. Redo that one. But anywho, I think we've just ran out of time for today's episode of Minecraft. So if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you all inside of the next one, where hopefully we will be building either the tavern or the Church of Havenwood. See ya!